Hey, this is Pete Bernard from Edge Celsior. I'm here with my dog Dreidel, who's a little anxious right now, coming to you from sunny Seattle. I want to talk a little bit about the Apple M3 announcement that happened last week and also the Qualcomm Snapdragon event where they introduced the Orion chip. It's interesting to see the Orion chip as spec'd, and you can see all the speeds and feeds online. Seem to be a little better than the Apple M3 in terms of performance. We'll see how that pans out. Although the M3 Pro and the M3 Max are still, significantly above the performance levels that the Orion was claiming. But it's interesting to see that Qualcomm's now sort of in spitting distance of Apple in the M-series chips, and we'll see where Intel lands on that whole story. But I thought the real interesting thing about the two events was the difference in AI. So when you looked at the Snapdragon event and really the Microsoft discussions around next generation PCs, there was a lot about AI PCs, this term AI PCs, and not to be confused with cloud PCs or cloud books or netbooks or green PCs or whatever else has been coming along the past decade or so to try to convince you to buy a PC. So this year apparently it's AI PCs, and we'll see what Microsoft has up its sleeve to promote those with its partners. But really, I thought it was trying to push that narrative was kind of a tough one because it's not clear what an AI PC is or what the scenarios are. When you think about running AI workloads on a PC, maybe it's the blur background on a Zoom call, maybe it's eye tracking. I guess it could be generative AI scenarios when you're on an airplane in airplane mode, but frankly, these days on an airplane, you're usually connected anyway. So kind of left me feeling a little flat, like what is an AI PC? Is that even a thing? I'm not sure. Meanwhile, when you look at the Apple event, they talked about the M3, the M3 Pro, the M3 Max. And really when they talked about MacBooks, they talked about, higher performance and better battery life. That was it. They didn't mention AI at all during the entire event, except for one time when they talked about, using MacBooks, AI developers could use MacBooks, but that was kind of a throwaway line. So it was really interesting to see the contrast in positioning to say for your next generation Apple laptop, it's about performance and battery life, maybe a slightly better screen. And on the other side, on the Windows side, it was about this AI PC concept. And so it'll be interesting to see how this kind of lands. And I would say I'm really curious to see what the scenarios would be that would constitute an AI PC. Haven't really seen those yet. So that's my take.